All right, Liv, gents, how is it going? Obviously, it's been a little while since we have had a conversation, and a lot has changed since we had our initial sales call. I kind of wanted to just bring you here today for you to be able to share a little bit about your journey, how you found the product, all of that type of stuff. But before we dive into this, perhaps you want to introduce yourselves, let everybody know what it is you do, and basically how you're running your agency. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we do everything together. We started the business 1 year ago, I think. Yeah, soon 1 year ago. And we are working with clinic owners, more specifically med spa owners. And yeah, we are from Denmark, 21 years old. And yeah, as I mentioned, we started around 1 year ago. A lot has changed. From March to August, we did everything ourselves. We watched YouTube videos to learn stuff, and then we joined the course in August.
Okay, beautiful. And before you joined the product, how much were you making on a monthly basis?
3K a month
About,
USD.
about 3K USD. And here we are
Yeah,
now in February. And how much are you guys making per month now?
a little shy of 15K this month. Our best month will be February.
Beautiful. How does that feel? How does that feel to know that, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago, you were probably bootstrapping this a little bit, trying to make it happen, believing that it could happen, and then here we are now in February, and you're only just getting started, and you're already making 15K. How does that feel?
It feels very good. It has really been a journey. We have learned a lot, and we have also changed up a lot of things about our service, about sales, really just all the way through. So yeah, I guess right now we feel we have everything we need in order to scale. So that's really good.
Yeah, it feels like we're just about getting started and yeah, really excited for the next couple of months. We will
Mhm.
start our ads for our own agency and yeah, excited about that.
And then on to 50K and beyond.
Exactly.
Okay, let's take this all the way back then, Jens. Perhaps you can speak to this a little bit. Before you obviously dived into the product, what were some of the things that you were struggling with? Why do you feel like you were struggling to actually scale the business and get it to where you wanted it to be?
Yeah, we had absolutely zero systems, so it was nothing was clear and it was all let's do this and this and this. We didn't have a plan to get where we wanted to get. So I think the main takeaway from the course is getting systems, and we now know every day we need to do this and that, and we have a clear plan.
Okay. So beforehand, it just kind of felt like a little bit chaotic. You had the
Yeah,
confidence to make it happen, but in terms of execution, step-by-step process, that was lacking.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And in terms of actually even booking in the call, who took the initiative to do that and where did that stem from? Why is it that you decided that you actually wanted to book in a call?
Yeah, so it started way back when Charlie had, I think, around 7K YouTube subs. I watched one video and I actually thought, what even is this kind of content? It was very different, but then I saw another one and all of a sudden I have watched maybe 30, 40 videos in the span of a week and yeah, he got me. So
Okay,
we decided to book a call after that.
let's dive into that. So, because I see this a lot, people will kind of, to an extent, like sit on the sidelines, they'll watch the YouTube channel. Obviously, Charlie gives away a lot of free value on there, but he's very good at holding back just enough. So you have to put in a lot of work to actually figure out how to execute. When you were in that stage of just watching the content on YouTube, why did you feel like that still wasn't enough? Why do you feel like you needed to take that next step and start just looking into the market at different people who might be able to help you?
Yeah, so I saw a couple of his testimonials, and from that I could see that wow, this actually works. And in the past, we have also bought a different course, um, very different to EasyGrow, of course. And we kind of knew that it could steer us in the right direction. And yeah, I don't know, I really liked Charlie and the video, so yeah,
Okay,
just
cool.
decided to go ahead.
Liv, I saw a little smile come onto your face when you were talking about the fact that you bought another course. Can you tell me, not necessarily the name of the course, that's absolutely fine. We can leave that off the table. But in terms of your experience in the other course, like I'm sure that it did help as well. But where did you feel like perhaps it wasn't as in depth as you needed it to be to get you to 15K just using that course?
Yeah, I guess the course JC is talking about is the one that he bought when he was the one starting everything way before I got into the business. So he bought a course here in Denmark, which I think only really covered the most important foundations, very mindset-ish, and only like how to do a little bit of Facebook advertising, maybe.
Yeah, so it was basically getting started, and the the achieving maybe 5K a month was the end goal. Like there was no ambition like in EasyGrow where you see people hitting 100K a month or something like that. So yeah, there it
Beautiful.
was really not built to scale like where most people want to scale to.
Okay. So past experiences, you've done a course, you're relentless with your work ethic. You're trying to make it work, but you're struggling to figure out how. Booking a call, you jump on a call with me. Obviously, we go into our discovery process, I pitch you the product, then we kind of head towards the objection handling phase. As we're doing the sales call, how do both of you feel? Like, how are you feeling when you're on the call?
I think
I think I was ready. I was already taking the card out. I was ready to buy, and yeah.
yeah, I'm very, very skeptical of everything. And I'm not, I don't like saying that, but I was not the type of person to make quick decisions. I am now, which is a good thing. But back then I didn't really know a lot about Charlie. I've only watched a couple of his YouTube videos, and I was just like, okay, you're saying it's great and we're going to do it. So I was just like, okay, let's do it. And yeah, then we did it, and it was really good.
Okay, let's kind of dive into that in a little bit more detail then, Liv, because Jens, you're saying you were already sold. I probably could have said
Yeah.
anything to you and you would have come on board. Liv, you were a little bit more skeptical about this. When we were in the back end of the call, and obviously you can speak to this a lot more now, like doing sales calls yourself, you can see how it can be sometimes a little bit difficult navigating different objections that you come up against. When you look at the product, what is it that gave you the confidence to take that step? Even though you weren't as sold as Jens was, you hadn't watched as much content as he had. What was it that gave you the confidence to just be like, do you know what? Let's do it.
I think it was probably a combination of multiple things. First of all, I had also watched some of the testimonials beforehand, and I also think you on the sales call were really like calm and you seemed very confident that it was going to work. So that was, of course, a huge plus. And yeah, then I also guess I could also feel on JC that it was probably the thing that we needed if we wanted to get to all of our goals and if we wanted to achieve the things that we wanted to.
Okay, makes sense. So you're now in the product. Obviously, there's a lot in there, and there continues to be more and more and more as we just keep developing it. What would you say, being down the line now, quite a few months, what would you say individually were the key takeaways? What were the biggest things that you really got from this? And then to add on to that, what were some of the things that you didn't expect to get from this, but you did?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
for me, it's 100% all of the coaching calls. Um, yeah, they're just amazing, and there's so much help, even everything from sales with you, and service delivery with Jimmy, and the appointment setting with Oscar and Will and Nabil. It's just so much help in the coaching calls, and it was also this thing I did not expect, that we would get so much value from all of the coaching calls.
Yeah, and I guess also we've had a lot of different experiences, only good ones really, but JC has been on, I guess, all of the service delivery calls, and because he's the one taking care of all of that, and I'm taking care of all the sales calls. So I also, especially in the beginning, joined a lot of sales calls, both yours and the sales audit, and it was just really good. Like all of that has helped us a lot with the service delivery and with signing more clients, because I did really struggle in the beginning. I had no system in place, no pitch, no script, and nothing. So I have all of that now. Now it's only, small adjustments and keep improving. And I guess some of the things that surprised me is just all the support that you can get 24/7. So if you have a problem, you can write it in the chat or in the community. And also, yeah, just the community in itself, getting to know other people in the same space is really valuable.
Yeah, I would really agree with this because obviously, me learning how to do sales, I've bought tons of products in the past. Support is crucial. We can give you all of the information, but if you sometimes are struggling to assimilate it or know how to execute on it, and there's not people that you can speak to, it makes life difficult. And that's why I think Charlie and Bo have been super focused on just having an overwhelming amount of people available to ensure that you get to where you want to be. Okay, cool. Let's take this in a slightly different direction then. All right. Let's imagine you didn't do this and you didn't get the support. Obviously, you still would have made progress, but what do you think life would look like now had you gone a different route?
I'm not sure.
That's a hard question. I think we would not be doing the numbers that we're doing now, revenue wise, and we would definitely not have the systems that we have now. Yeah, I can't even imagine not having learned all the stuff the past 7 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we would have spent a lot more time trying to figure everything out on our own, and probably also have been making a lot more mistakes along the way. So yeah, we would probably have grown to what we have now, but it would have taken us a lot longer. Yeah, a lot.
That makes sense. With all of this in mind, because obviously both of you are fairly young. How old did you say you are? You're 21?
21. Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
21 and 22. Okay, beautiful. At the age that you are making 15K, obviously it's quite atypical for people your age. You have your own business, you're working online now. What does life look like at the moment? Like, have things drastically changed, or is it just a lot of work and then you've got money stacked up in the bank account as well?
Yeah, I think
We have been traveling for the past 6 months, so it's been amazing to travel while still growing the business, and we will also continue to travel. And yeah.
Yeah, and I think everything has changed. I mean, JC has probably more or less always wanted to do like his own thing, start a business. I have also wanted to do that, but I've been more on the more like safe route. So I wanted to study and I had a plan laid out for myself. But then as we got into this, I realized that, okay, this is not something that's only going to take 1 or 2 months. I need to be committed. So I chose not to study, and now I think we have our third gap year soon. probably a forever gap year, and that's only a good thing.
I would hope so. I'd hope it's a forever gap year at this
Yeah,
point.
the university plans is in the bin. It's
Yeah,
never
good.
going there.
I am glad to hear it. Okay, on a personal level then, because it's really enjoyable for me to have these conversations with our clients and see the progression that they've made. A lot of the time, the easiest way to measure that is obviously the amount of money that you've made. But on a personal level, how do you feel like you've changed? Like if you look, JC, at the version of you 9 months ago, 10 months ago, Liv, same as you, look at the version of you 9 months ago, 10 months ago. Do you feel like you're the same person, or do you see that there's been subtle shifts in your mentality, in the way you conduct yourself, in the way that you think?
Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah, I think definitely for me, when you ask like that, I feel like everything has changed. I'm definitely not the same person. As I mentioned before, I always just wanted to study. I never really took any risks, and it felt very uncomfortable for me to actually do that, even though it's always been a dream of mine to do something like this and be my own boss and all of that. When we started doing it, I quickly realized that it was even better than I ever thought that it would be. And now I have a whole nother mindset about everything, about the business, about life in general. And yeah, I have really come a long way, definitely.
Just before we move on to you, JC, because I think what you just said is like a really, really big point. Because I noticed the same shift in myself when I started making that progression and actually succeeding rather than wanting to succeed. The whole point around risk, right, is it's so interesting. Obviously, sitting on the calls myself and trying to help people get to where they want to be. A lot of the time, I see that unwillingness to really get uncomfortable. Because even based on what we've been talking about, Liv, like you dropped your studying, I'm sure that you had to bootstrap at some points in time to make things work, putting in a lot of hours, maybe socializing a little bit less to get to your goals. I think that risk element is a really big thing, and you have to have the motivation. But glad to hear that you've made that progress. JC, what about yourself?
Yeah, I agree with Liv. It feels like a lot of things have changed. Probably the main thing is realizing that or understanding that we can achieve so much if we stick to it and if we believe in ourselves and obviously also work hard. That 100K, 50K, whatever amount you want to make, it's possible if you stick to it and don't quit.
And I think that's another big thing as well. It's like the limiting beliefs, because I'm sure 9 months ago, the idea of even genuinely believing, yeah, I'm going to make 100K per month at some point in time, it's going to happen, would have just seemed ridiculous. You'd be like, how is that possible? And part of this is obviously the understanding the skill set, but also being in a community of people who are just like that. Like you spend all your time with people who are either very successful or on their road to success, and it kind of rewires you a little bit. So let's talk about this. This is the exciting bit, especially for both of you. 21, 22, making 15K per month after cracking on with this, having help in place for 8, 9 months. What does the future look like when you're envisioning the future 5 years, 8 years, 10 years down the line? I guess, how pivotal, one, has the product been in opening up doors for you? And two, what does that actually look like for you? Where do you envision yourself multiple years down the line now?
It has opened up a lot of doors, and I think, yeah, as again, just to mention it, everything would just have been so much more chaotic if we haven't been in the course. And also just being around, yeah, successful people all the time has really been a mindset shifter for both of us, that it's actually possible. So yeah, right now we are planning to probably move to Switzerland we don't want to live in Denmark anymore. So we're going away, and that's really a dream for both of us, that we want to go out, experience something new, and we want to be able to travel whenever we want, and yeah, just have all the freedom that everybody is talking about. Also just small things as not having to think about what you buy in the grocery store and stuff like that. Just really, yeah, having opportunities and freedom.
Beautiful. JC?
Yeah, the same as Liv on a personal base. We are in the process of moving, which is extremely exciting and good for the business tax-wise.
Yeah.
um,
That's another thing when you start making money is the tax.
yeah, you gotta keep it in mind. We pay over 50% here in Denmark, and if we move to Switzerland, it would be closer to 15%. So yeah, moving and being able to move to a quite expensive country as Switzerland is, and yeah, without having to stress about how much we pay for rent and stuff like that. And yeah, the future is really, we are excited about the future, and we are just getting started. And yeah, as mentioned earlier, we will start ads for the agency soon. And yeah, we're just excited, and the next goal is 50K.
Huge. When it happens, drop me a message and we can do another one of these. I know this may be a little bit of a cliche thing to say, but with all of this in mind, do you feel like the product has like significantly changed your lives? Do you feel like it was worth doing it, taking that risk, taking that step, putting in the hard work?
Yes, definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
It has the program has paid for itself many times over now.
Okay, cool.
Both
Last
in
question.
terms of, yeah, both in terms of the
Yeah.
money, and also how much it has given us back in terms of self-development, mindset, everything. Yeah.
Okay. Last question from me then. Last question. Let's say you go all the way back to when we had our initial sales call. And I know that perhaps you weren't as nervous as some other people might be about taking that step and committing to something that's very uncomfortable. You know that you're putting your money on the line, you're putting your time on the line, you're putting trust into people that realistically you don't have a relationship with as of yet. If you were on the fence and you were teetering this way, maybe I'm going to do it, you're teetering this way, maybe I'm not going to do it, what would you say to somebody who's in that position and they're thinking, is it worth me actually making this investment? And perhaps they've got a lot of fear around taking that step to become the best version of themselves.
I think if it was me, because I had, again, a lot of, not doubt, but I was just scared to actually taking the step, I would say that the best investment you can do is in yourself and in your skills, learning more. And you never know if you don't do it, and really you cannot lose anything. It's going to take you so far that you would never even be able to imagine it. It's going to change your whole life, and yeah, it's going to give you all the things that you need in order to grow your business and yourself.
Just before we come to you, JC, because I think that's a really good point. God forbids, let's say, for example, I don't know, I would say your business burnt down to the ground, but obviously it's a digital business, so that's not even possible. If you had to start over, given that you have these skills now, are you confident that you could get back to where you are?
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we started over, I would just take a lot more risks, not being afraid to, yeah, to take some risks and just go all in.
Okay, cool. JC, to you.
Yeah. So if you're on the fence, and I would probably say if you are not comfortable in the position where you're at right now, you obviously need to do something to change, and buying the program is what got us out of our uncomfortable position. So definitely, yeah, go ahead and take some risk. It will pay off.
Beautiful. Well, look, again, I want to congratulate the both of you for your success. Well bloody done. As you've said, it is literally just the start. Like there is so much more for you out there, and it's great to see that you can see this for yourselves as well now. 50K, 80K, 100K. I have no doubts. Like I mean it. Like I have no doubts. It's just going to happen. May take some time, but you will get there. But yeah, I appreciate you jumping on the call, and we will do this again when you get to that 50K mark. All right.
Sounds good.
Beautiful.